Namaste.
Percolate together.
I had somebody today on YouTube that asked me to speak on homosexuality. And this is not a popular subject, you know, with a lot of spiritual organizations, etc. And I don't get into a lot about it. But homosexuality or any sexuality has to do with form and the transient, and that has nothing to do with your inner spiritual search. Okay? So why people make such a huge thing about it is beyond me. Now I can understand why in biblical times, and there was a big chapter on the homosexuality, you know, with Lot and all of that, and Sodom and Gomorrah, and it was a place where I don't think it was so much the action of homosexuality in itself, but the fact that they were raping people and nobody was safe to go there. It wasn't a consensual thing. It was, they were out and out, you know, raping everybody that came in there and abusing them. And that's, you know, something absolutely different. So I don't see why they are not afforded the same rights as anybody else in society. They're not hurting anyone with what they're doing. It's in their private lives, and I'm not going to judge that. It's true, some people come in and their consciousness is still in a, you know, connected to a different form, and it's not matching up, and that's a very painful place for somebody to be in a body and a gender that's not matching with their identification. That's a very torturous place to be, and I think that people should have a little more compassion about that and understanding, and put yourself in their place. How difficult that would be. And for many of these people, they know this from a very, very young age. It's not a choice that they've made, you know, later on in their lifetime. Oh, this looks like this would be fun. Well, no, it's not fun. It's really not fun. And I've met people, I met one person many years ago that was a hermaphrodite, was very, very confused, had been born with both genitalia, and they raised this person as a male, never told him that he was a hermaphrodite, and when he became in puberty, he started to menstruate, and absolutely was freaking out because thought he was dying, you know, and then was very, very confused because the consciousness was not that of a male. And so this is a very, very difficult thing for many people that are find themselves in the wrong body this time around. Or even if it's an attraction to the same sex. I mean, what are they doing to you that you are so threatened by it? You know, really. Let these people have their life. You know, the spiritual path is not about the externals, you know, condemning somebody else for this type of thing. The journey is about the internal journey. And to encounter yourself, and to encounter what you are and what you are not. So I think it's better just to leave those things and leave it into the hands of the one that's going through it, rather than being so judgmental on this subject. Because really what I've seen in those communities is a lot of pain. Really a lot of pain. And so please have a little bit of compassion for these people. and understand they want the same things you want in life. They want to, many of them have a partner. They want to have somebody that they can be with, they can share good times with, they can share their lives with, somebody that can understand them, that they can depend on. And so that's all they're looking for. The same thing that anybody in a heterosexual relationship is looking for. A partner, okay? So, once again, let's have a little bit of compassion and understanding, and not be so narrow-minded and so judgmental in this. It doesn't mean that if somebody's homosexual that they love God any less, or that they're not in a personal search. Yes, they might very much be in quite a deep personal search. Okay? So that's all. Let's leave that. Now, I will preface this on one thing though. When you get into a subcategory of pedophilia and that type of thing, or lamba, adults wanting to love little children, that's something else. That's something that's really something that can't be upheld in any way, shape, or form. Children do not have that awareness to enter into something like that. They're being abused, they're being used, and how anybody can justify that, I don't know. That's a very, very sad thing to see and to encounter when adults will use small children for their own pleasure, and without regard to what it does to that one's life. So, once again, if it's an adult and they're two adults, give it a rest. Give these people a break. But if you see something going on with an adult and a child, don't hesitate to turn it in. I mean, really, one has to protect the children. One really has to protect that children, because it can really, this type of thing can impact their lives for the rest of their lives. It can have very serious impact on their consciousness and their mental health for many, many years. So namaste, and thank you for your question. I hope that it's helped in some way, shape, or form. Thank you.